Welcome viewers to The Link edition this week. We always keep our promise as best as we can to give you information that you can use and opportunities. And tonight, perhaps both, perhaps more of information on the side of small and medium enterprises. We are discussing tonight the difference having clarity in your business makes. And you might think clarity is an English word, but we're going to break it down now. And my guest tonight is Mr. Daniel Mata, Country Director, Business Professional Network, BPN. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Welcome, thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Very good. I always say my guests are our teachers of the day, so today you are our teacher.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Before we go into the discussing clarity for business, let me ask the first question. At BPN, or Business Professional Network, what do you do?
Well, to make it short, we assist Ugandan businesses to grow. We help them to get to the next stage, to professionalize their businesses, to turn their business dreams, their business visions into tangible plans and to implement those plans.
Okay. So you can take me from an idea to a business?
Absolutely.
How about if I have a business already?
This is actually our target audience. So we are mainly working with those people who already have a business, but they want to bring it to the next stage. Now they see we want to grow, we want to have more employees, we want to have new products, and we help them to navigate on this way.
Yeah, we're talking about things like scaling and so on.
Absolutely.
Okay, very nice. Let's talk clarity here. When we speak of clarity in business, what does it amount to? What does it mean, clarity in business?
Well, it's almost like clarity in life. First of all, you need to know where do we come from? What is our history as a business? Secondly, you need to know where are we now? And probably the most important part is you need to know where do you want to go to?
Okay, where I come from, where I am, and where I'm going.
What have you achieved so far with your business? Exactly.
Okay.
Well, when we develop the business plans with our participants, I start with the vision. I mean, I want them to define where do you want to be with your business in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time.
Okay.
A common challenge we observe when dealing with SMEs is they approach me as a coach. They ask me, well, Daniel, I was just approached by a potential partner. We have this new product, we have this new opportunity. Do you think is it a good idea? As I tell them, well, it's hard for me to assess whether this is a good idea. It depends on your vision.
Okay.
Does it lead you closer to the vision, the goals you want to achieve? Then it's definitively a good idea. But in general, I can't answer this question. So therefore, this is the foundation of every business. And this is what we try to shape together with the business owners.
Okay. So clarity, you mentioned there, Daniel, vision. And when people hear visions, they think about big corporate companies. And we're talking about SME here. Break it down for me. If you say vision, if it is Samuel and in my business, if you require me to have a vision, what does that actually mean?
Well, I usually say to the SME, close your eyes. Close your eyes and try to imagine your business in 5 years' time. What will you see there? What type of products are produced? What type of services are offered in that business? How many employees do you have at that business? How does the infrastructure look like? So it's something very tangible. It does not have to be something very dreamlike.
Abstract.
Abstract.
Yeah. Okay, how do I work out my vision now? I'm just bringing it down, the idea of vision. Daniel asks me, how do you imagine your business? What do I do? How do I develop the vision? What's the process?
Well, you always have to start with the customer. You have to try to find out what is the pain point of your customer. I mean, what are some unfulfilled, unmet needs your customer might have? What are the visions of your customers? And then try to align your personal vision as a business owner with that vision of that customer. And this alignment process is, I believe this is the process of formulating a good business vision.
Okay. I can see a bit of research, talk to the customers. That means proactively talking to the customers to find out their visions.
Absolutely. You need to have a deep understanding what your customers want. And most of the businesses, they tell me, we know what our customers want.
But
they believe we know it. But do you really know it?
Good question.
Do you have a real in-depth understanding what they really want? what is very powerful today, and this is what we try to focus on in our business development process, business plan development process, is use AI. Use AI to identify unmet needs of your customers.
Okay.
We are all commenting on online platform. We are providing feedbacks on social media.
Yeah.
With artificial intelligence, you have the possibility nowadays to easily summarize all these feedbacks and to get you an idea, what do your customers really want? What are their pain points?
And I see clarity now. When we come back to it, I see what you mean. If I ask the customers and use AI to synthesize everything they say, so I have a clear list.
Absolutely. And it's fantastic.
Okay.
I highly recommend that to every business to once do that.
Okay. What does it take me, Daniel? And you use the word process. Processes means I'm using a lot of my mind. What mindset should I have in order for me to appreciate identifying a vision, even engaging the customers? What kind of mindset do I need?
I think one big trap I see is we always have the tendency to believe that all the others around us, they think in the same way as we think. And you have to step away from that.
Okay.
You really have to take the viewpoint of your customers. You have to try to understand, how does that person see
things,
think, how do they see their future? That's, I believe that's the starting point of developing a good vision.
Okay, very good. We are still hovering about clarity, and we have said vision is important. Are there any other things in order for me to achieve clarity? Vision is number one.
The second point is, you need to know about yourself. Where are we good at? So this is like the starting point.
Say that again, Daniel, slowly.
Where are you really good at? What are your strengths? As a businessman, as a team, what can you do yourself in your business, and what do you maybe have to delegate to others? So that's an important point.
Okay.
And this is more about the present. Where are we right now?
Okay. So if you come to NTV, we are good at broadcasting and being a medium for which information can reach. We are in between the source of information and the recipients. That's our job, the middleman job to transfer information. Would that be right if I was talking about NTV, for instance?
I believe so. That's a good starting point. Now, probably I would ask you some follow-up questions. What sets you apart from many other media houses doing the same? Is there anything you can deliver nobody else can deliver?
Unique proposition.
Exactly. That's I believe that's one of the key processes each business has to go through. Really try to find out, where is our competitive edge.
Okay. Isn't that difficult, Daniel? People think, SMEs are thinking that, what does Dan think? Isn't that difficult? That assessment.
I believe it's not easy. It's a process. It will take you time. It might take you weeks. It might take you months, even years to get there. But you have to embark on this process. You have to start today, and you can't think maybe in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time.
You can't postpone it.
I will start to position my business.
Okay, very interesting. So we have seen vision, and we have seen unique proposition or my advantage over the others. Is there anything else in terms of me appreciating clarity, achieving clarity? Anything else we on top of the two?
I believe one point many SMEs are neglecting is also to try to find out, what are your competitors doing? To really understand your competitors.
Good point.
When I'm approached by businesses, or when I read business plans, I always get the impression that what they are doing, nobody else is doing. They tell me, my product, my service is absolutely unique.
And that sometimes is not true.
And this is oftentimes not true. I'm actually joking with them. I say, if this was the case, either you have not done a proper competitor analysis, or your product or your service is irrelevant to the market. So get a real understanding, what are your competitors doing, even as an SME, and then try to see what are some niches, maybe some areas they are not able to address.
Gaps in the market.
step in. What are some gaps? Yeah. And I believe we often neglect that. Again, we say we know our competitors, but do we really know them?
Good question. You see, the way you ask those questions makes me think if I was an SME, I need to engage into a critical thinking process with data.
Absolutely.
If it is customers, if it is competition, I need to gather data and then assess it and use it to make decisions at the end of the day. Clarity.
Absolutely.
We'll go for a short break. If you thought clarity is an English word, you have just seen what it means actually. It may mean getting your vision and understanding your competition, understanding your value proposition, and what strength it has in the market. And these are not complicated subjects as such, but they need hard work in order for you to use them. That's what we do at The Link. We're going for a short break. Don't go away. Welcome back from the break, and we're continuing our discussion on achieving business clarity. And tonight, we are breaking down the English word, if you think, but it's a business term also. Achieving business clarity and what difference it makes in your business. And my guest tonight is Mr. Daniel Mata, Country Director, Business Professional Networks. They deal in advising and directing SMEs, especially in making business decisions, assessing where they are, where they want to go, and so on. So you might reach out to them if you think you need that kind of services. So Daniel, are we done with the things that are key to clarity? You gave us 3 points. We'll move to the next question. If you say so, you're our teacher. We move to the next question, or there is something we have left out on the issue of how do I achieve clarity?
I believe these are the 3 pillars.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
To what extent is clarity in business allowed to fail without failing the whole business? And I hope you understand. We're talking about risk. The clarity that I have, even when I get the data, even when I have some point on the vision, I know what my competitors are doing.
Yeah.
To what extent what room should I leave for failure, room of failure, without collapsing my business? I hope that question is clear.
Again, I believe to get this clarity is a process. You can't expect to have full clarity, to have the full picture from the first day on.
Okay.
And there might be some small failures on the way. I mean, this is natural.
Yeah.
But I believe, the danger thing is if you're not embarking on this way of getting more clarity in your business.
Okay.
If you're constantly getting away from collecting data, from finding out what your customers want, this could be a potential risk. Or another risk, of course, is that you become irrelevant on the market. And I believe nowadays we are in a time of rapid change.
Yes.
Technology,
and so
on. Getting back to AI, I believe this is the biggest revolution I have experienced in my whole life.
Yeah.
And yes, start with that process. Constantly stay on that road. Try to get more clarity. Try to investigate this point, that point. Try to get all the puzzles together so you have a clear picture of your business. And try to be open to new trends, new developments. Okay.
Sometimes, Daniel, people have clarity in their heads as entrepreneurs. Is that how it should be? I have clarity in my head and the owner of the business, and nobody else has the clarity.
Yeah.
What's the problem with
that? This is a big challenge indeed. And I say, in order to have full clarity, and I also believe this is one of the key missions of BPN, you have to be able to write it down. Once you put something on the paper, you start to realize, maybe there are some gaps.
Yeah.
And a picture of your business you have just in your mind. How can you how can you exchange that with your employees? How can you communicate that? I believe to write this all down in a business plan, although some people might think business plans, this is outdated nowadays. And they often tell me, when I develop a business plan today, we're in a very fluid, in a very rapidly evolving environment. This business plan will be outdated tomorrow. And I try to stress writing a business plan, this is a process. This whole thinking process and bringing all the thoughts on the paper, this is absolutely crucial in a business.
And I see it must be data driven. It can't be just a concept. I guess that's what you tell, you have just hinted on it already. A bit of research, so that it's not some abstract thing you're thinking about. You're not, you can be brilliant, but you may be thinking about things that are not real in the real world.
Absolutely. I mean, you have a lot of assumptions when you set up a business. And your task is to collect evidence on these assumptions. And this is another part, I believe, of getting this clarity.
Okay. As we end, what are the, you have just hinted on one, thinking that, putting things in your head. Are there other personal challenges or things that entrepreneurs have or behavior that undermines achievement of clarity? You are the one who has them, they visit you and ask you questions. What do you notice the things that people need to work on in order for clarity to be, to make sense, to move their business to the next level?
Well, what I'm going to tell you now, this is actually a feedback I got from an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And he once told me, the topics I'm discussing with you, I'm discussing with nobody else.
Very
interesting. And when I talk to my relatives, when I talk to my friends, they all are clapping and saying, you're great, doing a great job, you're great. They never ask me any critical questions. They never question my approach. And I believe this is a big contribution a business coach, an executive coach can make to a business. I mean, to constantly follow up, set milestones with the business owner, follow up and follow up and follow up.
Okay.
So to create this accountability, so that you are able to achieve the vision we spoke about at the very beginning.
You need a trusted sort of outsider out of your business to help you see things that you may not see because you are too close to the business. Okay. That's one, not seeking help. And having things in your head you write down. And then if you need support, you get it from outside. Is there any other behavior that inhibits clarity that you know from experience? When people come to you, you have just told us the relatives or the friends are just clapping and saying, oh yeah, man, you go. And yet you may be struggling, you may be having gaps and you don't see them. That's one problem. Any other personality problems or even character that may inhibit clarity?
I observe that many SMEs, they are trapped in everyday challenges.
Operations.
To say it figuratively, they're constantly fighting the alligators and they never get to the point where they can actually
turn around.
Where they can eradicate the swamp. And I believe that's one thing. Another thing where we can help them to make 2 steps back, have a look at their business from a distance and try to find out, as I said, where can we go to, what are the issues we want to address together.
Okay. And I know we had another discussion and I remember something as you spoke. One last point. The ability to listen to advice. Do you find that as a challenge as a coach? That people come to you but they don't listen? Is that an issue?
You see, sometimes you as a coach, you believe they're not listening to you. Because they don't see any change in their behavior. But years after, and that's a big advantage we have as an organization, we have a long-term vision. We are together with the entrepreneurs for years. Years after, they turn back to you and they say, well, actually, you once taught me this and that. And you realize, most probably my words have more impact than I thought.
So how do you judge? How do you judge that they're not listening to you or they're listening to you?
I can say in the beginning of my career, sometimes I was frustrated. I could see certain issues that were so, from my point of view, so obvious, and I could see them not reacting, not taking action on those issues. And that was frustrating, but I learned to live with that.
Okay, because eventually they do listen. So does that mean that you, the advisor, you need to be patient?
You have to be extremely patient.
All right. That takes us to the note of our end of our discussion. I'm sure you're still enjoying it, but that's our time. We are talking about business clarity. And we ended with the obstacles to entrepreneurs in SMEs having business clarity. Advice sometimes is slow to be absorbed. You have things in your head only, you don't write them down, or you have cheerleaders who are telling you, go, 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 they're not telling you there's a problem with the business. And this is when you need an outsider out of your business to tell you, no, 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 here everything is not right. Can you imagine we discussed clarity in that depth? And we could have said more. That was The Link. Thank you for joining us tonight.